All right. It is summer 2023, and we are getting ready now for the preview DuPage Run and Shoot show. It is back. Yes, I am back. And just a quick reminder that August 24th, the first video will drop of week one, talking about the games of the week and talking about the DuPage County teams. Should be a lot of fun. My name is Coach Big Pete, aka Peter Leinweber of DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And my co-host, the great co-host, the guy that did an unbelievable job this winter, did an unbelievable job. Mr. Codo, please introduce yourself, sir.
What's going on, everybody? That is right. It is me, Patrick Codo, the co-host of DuPage Run and Shoot. You can find me everywhere on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I am a sports reporter at NCTV 17. So if you want to check out our awesome content, check us out at nctv17.org. And Pete, holy shit, the football season is almost here. Under a month away.
It is absolutely crazy. It is crazy right now. And again, for the first season, in a lot of seasons, I got to say this. We had, for the class of 2023 that graduated, we had a lot of starters graduate.
We did.
Which means for a lot of anarchy as we get into the season. So let's get started first. DuPage Valley Conference. Someone who might know this conference? Mr. Codo? All right. Let's first get started with Naperville Central. Naperville Central, again, looking very strong, especially they got a new quarterback in Jack Cook, who I really like. And overall defense looking great as well. Mr. Codo, go ahead with your thoughts.
I was just going to say, too, Pete, you want to talk about, this Naperville Central team, and really the DVC looks stacked in general.
Yes.
But starting with Central, like you mentioned, Jack Cook, who really hasn't played any varsity football. I mean, sure, he dressed last year as a backup, but really didn't get any playing time. I got a feeling he could surprise a lot of people. This Red Hawk team has some wideouts that are being slept on.
Yes.
Logan Divick, Chris Byrne, Aaron Nussbaum, and be on the lookout for junior Alex Libo.
And I like to say they were very impressive at the Westmont Yard this spring. Very impressed with them. Next one.
And not only that, too. Sorry, Pete, but
no.
They have a lot more guys back, including Grant Ellinger,
yes,
who committed to Virginia. You got Christian Kuda and Maverick Oli back.
Yes.
Got Nick Zabilik, Captain Wade, Daniel Nussbaum, Daniel Conway, Connor Sands. You're going to have some underclassmen step up. Naperville Central will be just fine this year.
They will definitely be good. Next one, and this is going to be another good team. And again, in this conference, a lot of inexperienced quarterbacking going on. Nico Valley, who I absolutely love, Ryan Moeller. I think he's going to do a wonderful job with Nico Valley. But you look at Stair and wide receiver Ryan Mascara. He's another player to check out as well.
Scary.
Yep. They have a pretty good secondary as well, but what are your feelings?
Well, you also got Sil Spadafora back in the running game. You got Nick Williamson back at linebacker. But obviously, when it comes to, Neuqua Valley, Bill Ellinghaus, he will get those boys going. And you want to talk about inexperience, Ryan Moeller is the only quarterback in the DVC with much experience as of now.
And you hit it completely on the head with that one.
Him and another QB that we are going to touch on.
Next one, Waubonsie Valley. The big question is, what can they do this season? I was a little bit surprised about the outcome with them last year. What are your feelings, Mr. Codo?
Well, nobody wants to go 0-9 in the season, but that was last season. Yeah. This is 2023. Waubonsie Valley has a lot back. Quarterback, Luke Elsey.
Yes.
Running back / wide receiver, Tyler Threet. You also got Julian Johnson back. You got some new good upperclassmen. these juniors and seniors, when they were underclassmen, they went 14-3-1 on the sophomore level. 14-3-1. We also got Josh Hausauer back. Water polo standout Charlie Drohan. Yes, water polo players can play football. They're not going winless. They're not going winless.
No, they won't. They won't. And again, I would also keep an eye out. He's a junior, if I'm not mistaken, Popov. He's a lineman.
Yes, Stepan Popov.
Stepan Popov. It's another name to definitely look at.
Don't sleep on Wabanzi Valley. I got a feeling they will turn it around. And if they turn it around and make the playoffs, then you can pretty much pencil in as our NSW most improved team.
Yes.
Because Wabanzi Valley has been
very good.
Down.
Next one, Mateo Valley, Oscar Rivera, big time playmaker for them. But it seems it's like a car. It just completely doesn't start after 2 weeks, or we get what we had 2 seasons ago, which was a pretty interesting season for Mateo Valley. What can they do this season now, Mr. Codo?
Well, first off, Oscar Rivera can't do it all. He can't do it all. He's going to need some help, but they do have some players back. Lucas Flanvera, you mentioned Oscar. The junior quarterback, Jake McLeod, looks promising. You got Nico Carrier, Sam Sinsheimer, another water polo player.
Yeah.
Christian Lee, Daniel Peer, Demarion Lewis, Brady Jones, Aiden Gonzalez, and Hank Omar. So some players with experience. And this is one thing I talk about Mattia. Numbers. They gotta boost those up.
Yeah, and I think the big thing on their season is going to be on the line play for Mateo Valley. That's going to be huge.
Exactly.
And the next one, and this is a very interesting situation. We have a star quarterback going to Northwestern, leaves the team, graduates. But we got another star quarterback coming in, Mr. Jacob Bell, coming in for Naperville North. And again, they look unbelievable. Their linemen do a wonderful job. Very impressed with that line. But what are your feelings, Mr. Codo?
Well, you want to talk about star. You know, he's going to be throwing to a wide receiver going to Purdue by the name of Luke Williams and Brock Petaway. You also have Cole Aro back in the running game. Also, you know the Huskies love to move things around in the backfield. Zach Malley is another name to watch for in that Husky backfield. You also got Tyler Sternstein on the defensive side. The Huskies, I mean, they are coming in hungry. They are going to be hungry. Like you mentioned, Jacob Bell, Alex Cushionbach, Drew Jennings, Lawson Greer, and Matt Murphy.
Yep. That's going to be a hell dynamic.
The big question is, can they win that playoff game? That's the big question.
And I'm happy you mentioned that. Can they snap that cold streak? Can they snap it this season?
Haven't won a playoff game since 2010.
Jeez. All right. And I forgot the Cal Barbs again, Talon Tate. It's going to be very interesting. It's a lot like the Kelb is a lot like Wabanzi Valley. What are we going to get? Because Ephraim Carter graduates, their star receiver / DB. We'll see what happens. But the Kelb
is McVicker back too for the Kelb?
Who?
McVicker?
I think he might be. Back. Yeah. All right. Next conference, the Big Dog Conference, the Duquesne Conference. Oh my! This is a wild one. This one's a wild one.
It's gonna be loaded.
Yes. And first we start with the big team, the Geneva Vikings. What are your thoughts?
Pete, call me crazy, but I got a feeling that Geneva could be a potential state contender this year. You got Derek Verdone back on the edge. You got the Diamond Boys of Tommy and Will, Rocco D. Leonardi, Taylon Taylor, who's getting, Division I offers, USC, UCLA, Nebraska, Tennessee, Georgia, Bama. I can go on forever. Troy Velez, Finn Wepner.
Yeah.
Just reading those names, I mean, Geneva looks, they aren't messing around this year.
And I think the big thing will be with.
Oh, and you got Nate Stempowski back.
Yes. And they got a pretty good little young quarterback as well. And again, the big thing is, can they get that big W over their bigger brothers? And we'll see what happens. I think
We will find out.
I think the first 2 weeks are going to be a very important 2 weeks for Geneva this season. So definitely a team to watch. Next one. Batavia Bulldogs. Let's just be truthful. They always are good, but they have a real special offensive line. This Batavia offensive line is a juggernaut. What do you think, Mr. Codo?
Well, that Batavia offensive line will be protecting quarterback Ryan Bowe and Charlie Wepley.
Yes.
I mean, Ben Fiegel's also back at linebacker for the Bulldogs. Also, Batavia, let's just say they hate Mount Carmel right now.
Mm-hmm.
They hate Mount Carmel.
Yes,
they come in as the 7A runners-up. They hate Mount Carmel. Batavia hates Mount Carmel.
Yes.
That's pretty much Batavia. They hate Mount Carmel.
Yep. And keep an eye out for wide receiver Luke Alwyn. He's going to be a little bit of a big key player in Batavia. Next one, St. Charles North. Now, I made this statement that I see shades of 2021 Wheaton North in this St. Charles North team. I really think that a lot of people are overshadowing St. Charles North, sir.
Well, you know St. Charles North is always going to be a threat. Gabe Tate is back. You got Jake Mattel. Ethan Plum is back, along with Jake Furtney. And those are only names to name a few.
Yes.
And honestly, I feel like whoever wins the Duquesne Conference, or whoever can hang in the Duquesne Conference, it's a real good shot of going far in the playoffs.
And I totally agree with you. And I think, I think one of the thing about this Duquesne Conference is even the weaker teams that are seen weaker, they've surprised these teams before in the past seasons. Again, I'm always scared shitless of Glenbard North. They scare me half to death.
Well, I'll tell you who you should be scared shitless of in that conference: St. Charles East and Lake Park.
Yes, I agree. And we get into that. St. Charles East. Very interesting. Offensive line.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sure, they won 2 games last season, but never count the Saints. You got Bodie McCaslin back, an Iowa commit, and Mac Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Paul, a perfect 2-way player.
Mm-hmm. And one of the more underrated players in the state of Illinois. And I'm very impressed with also St. Charles East. Again, their defense. That's going to be the most important thing. They have a couple sophomores going into their junior year. They're not the junior year. They could be very impressive for the Saints team. Do not sleep on St. Charles East. And next one, our biggest pain in the butt at Glenbard North High School. For some reason, the times we say, hey, they're going to win, they lose. And when we think they're going to lose, they're going to win. And I'm going to tell you right now, this Glenbard North team is very scary. They get a big-time transfer in Samir Sennett from Wheaton Warrenville South, who's an absolute stud. What do you think, sir?
Well, usually when Glenbard North misses the playoffs, they always bounce back. This is going to be a bounce-back year for the Panthers. We had a lot of hopes on them last year.
Yeah.
And, well, they didn't come through.
Yeah.
We were very excited for that team last year after their impressive run in the playoffs for 2021. I feel like that they will have a bounce back this year. But again, they're in the tough Duquesne Conference.
They are. Next one, Wheaton North, 2 years removed from a state title. They have the big men. The question will be on their quarterback Hauser. What do you think?
Let's be real. They've been ready to go since their loss to Lake Zurich.
Yes.
I think Hauser will be ready to go. You also got Joe Barna back, Walker Owens. Again, these are just people to name a few.
Yeah. And Walker Owens, by the way, very, very underrated, deserves to be talked about more. And this Wheaton North team, again, like I said, this team, they could do the same thing 2 years ago that they did. and they had a tough game against Lake Zurich, so we'll see what happens. Next, and a little bit of I'm going to say this, a little bit of my surprise team. Wheaton Warrenville South, Coach Norris. I'm very interested in his team. Luca Carbonero is one of my favorite players, favorite quarterbacks, highly athletic, multi-sport star, kid that you must know about. Mr. Codo, what do you think about Wheaton Warrenville South?
Yes. Well, definitely. I feel like they will be surprised. I mean, you saw them beat Equal last year in that week 2 matchup. So there are a lot of surprises in this Duquesne conference. But you want to talk about this next team? This next team right here, we're going to talk about. I feel like can be a massive surprise.
And you're right, Lake Park. Lake Park has grown leaps and bounds from last season, sir. Go ahead with your comments.
Second-year head coach Chris Kirkpatrick, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Kirkpatrick enters his second year. A lot of guys are back for Lake Park. I would not sleep on these Lancers.
And I agree. Cairo, an offensive lineman, Munoz, another offensive lineman to keep an eye out for. Multi-athletic quarterback, too. Great group of linebackers, an impressive secondary that this Lake Park has grown with. Again, Kirkpatrick took over Lake Park, and he basically gave him the energy for last season. Basically, hey, we might be overmatched, but we're going to kick your ass in. And Kirkpatrick has done a wonderful job as coach of Lake Park. There is a buzz with Lake Park, and they keep on growing. So big shout out to Lake Park. They're definitely going to be a team to watch. Now we get into the Western Suburban Conference. Let's talk about our friend Coach McHugh and his Hinsdale Central Red Devils. Last year, a little bit of an upset. They were upset, injury bug bit them.
Yes.
Again, this Hinsdale Central team is in the West Suburban Conference. Their division, there's a lot of question marks. A lot of question marks. Mr. Codo, go away with your thoughts, sir.
Well, obviously, I'll be seeing these guys week 1 against Naperville Central, but you never want to count out Hinsdale Central. They reload every year. You got Marco Ortiz, Edward Conta, Carter Contreras, Talha Khan, Ryan McGarry, Riley Contreras, Eugene Raridan, Owen Stammer. I mean, those are just a few names to mention for Central.
And I think, again, Owen Stammer is going to play a huge key with this offense, especially their running game. Misha Antipov is another player to keep an eye out for, a young player that you must know about. Riley Contreras. If he catches some fire under his ass, he's going to whip a lot of butts, especially defensive wise. So he's definitely a player to keep an eye out for. I see a lot of positive things happening for the Hinsdale Central team. With the injury plague season, they had a lot of younger upperclassmen move up. I think that's another positive. This Hinsdale Central team looks good.
Very scary.
We get into the world beaters of the West Suburban Conference every year. Glenbard West, the Hitters. What do you think, sir?
Well, the Hitters have Julius Allen's back. That's huge. Along with Danny Coffey, Eric Lonvik, Ben Starman, and tight end Ryan Siegebart will be pivotal.
I agree. And again, Danny Coffey is an absolute pain in the ass. Undersized, but he just makes hills of linemen. He clogs the gap. He basically kills the run. He's a hell of a pass rusher too. This is definitely I will never ever say, hey, this is going to be a down year for Glenbard West, because it's not true. I think
fuck that. There's no such thing as a down year in Glenbard West.
Yeah. So they're going to be good. Next, and I forgot to tell this to Codo, but again, I am a dumbass. Lyons Township. This is a great year for Lyons Township. A lot of the big dog teams that we've talked about. They're again, upperclassmen coming in. Lions Township has a lot of kids returning, and it all starts with their quarterback, Ryan Jackson, and their star defensive lineman, Eddie Turk's offensive line, too. Go ahead, sir.
Well, obviously, we saw what Lions Township did last year in the playoffs. Took care of Naperville Central, pulled the big upset against Plainfield North. Sure, they ran a gas against Loyola, but they made a really impressive run last season in the playoffs.
Yeah, and again, I think the most important thing, too, for Lions Township as well, Noah Pamphlet, they have a wide receiver. They also got another wide receiver against a finesse. They have the weapons. And again, this feels like it was 2016 when Lions had that really talented group of players.
Yes.
Lions looks really good this year. Next one, Addison Trail. Addison Trail did again, they are slowly improving every year. This year is going to be a big year for him. Big shout to my guy, Coach Helton. He just got hired by Addison Trail. I really believe Addison Trail, this is a great year for Addison Trail. This is a year that they could do something because there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of question marks, and not very much seen in the West Suburban Conference. What do you think, sir?
Obviously, 2-7 last year. They could definitely improve on that.
Yeah, and I totally agree, and I think that the big thing will be for Addison Trail, they got to start out. They have to start out winning first early, so it's going to
win some games. Get some. You need those non-conference matchups are really important.
And they got a hell of a I'm forgetting his name. He's a linebacker / running back. He's a hell of a player too, so definitely keep an eye out for Addison Trail. Next one, and we'll go more into Addison Trail on week 1. Willowbrook High School. This is another good year for Willowbrook because, again, the teams that they're facing, there's a lot of questions. And Arthur, their star quarterback, Licky, is a hell of a player.
Yes.
If he catches fire as ASAP that first week, this Willowbrook team, Coach Hildreth, does a wonderful job. It'd be interesting. What do you think, sir?
Well, first off, for Willowbrook, I want to give them a shout out for the girls starting a flag football team that I saw you were at last night. That was pretty cool to see. But Willowbrook, yeah, another team you don't want to sleep on in that conference. And really, that team, you don't want to sleep on anybody.
And keep an eye out for what's his name, Santonio Whitehead. He's the
tight end. Yes.
Keep an eye out for that kid. He's going to be a hell of a player. Good, solid offensive line. Veteran presence at their center. I forget his name. He's going to be a beast as well. Keep an eye out for Willowbrook, and then we get into Hinsdale South, and this is a team again. They could surprise some people. Hinsdale South, to me, is very interesting. Nathaniel Fundator is a kid at
Yes.
The offensive line, pretty good. What do you think, sir?
Well, they went 5-4 last year. They let a couple games sneak away from them. So playoffs could be possible for the Hornets.
Yeah, so definitely, again, this is a very interesting year in DuPage County, people. Next.
Oh, you don't say.
Yep, our boys returning back, York. They lose their star quarterback, Matt Veza. They lose their star running back, too. What do you think, sir?
Well, consider that York had their first ever 9-0 season, first ever 12-win season. Feel like York, these players that are coming back, along with the underclassmen, they took note of last season, and they're going to ride the ship.
I agree.
York's in a perfect spot right now. Let's not forget, too, 2021, they were also 8-1 before they got upset early on.
Yes.
So York, they'll be good. They'll be
basically good. The teams that we think that are going to do good, if they get into the playoffs, they just can't get screwed with their seeding and get a private school from Chicago.
Oh yeah, no, we had what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple teams that we liked last year definitely got screwed with the seedings.
Yep.
I mean, sure, people are like, oh, it's playoffs. Yeah. Suck it up. No. Nobody wants to play Brother Rice right away if you're like 8-1.
Nope.
You kidding me? They do not want to play a team like Brother Rice.
And we get into Cook County, we talk about Leiden. And with Leiden, again, their star player Salazar, he graduates. Again, I feel it's gonna be another tough season for Leiden. Another team with the West Suburban Conference too that we can talk about too. And I totally forgot to mention Morton. And Morton hires my buddy Coach Sybil. Good hire, solid hire. But again, it's a tough road. But they have a great guy in Nichols. He's a defensive end / tight end, absolute stud. This Morton team, I feel, is a lot better than the Line team. I think they're better than both the Proviso teams. I think this Morton team can steadily climb up the ladder if they get those early wins. The biggest thing again is if you have a team of a losing tradition, you got to get those early wins. Those are the most important thing, motivational factor, and just the fact of, hey, we can win that. So
exactly. No, I agree.
And we get into Downers Grove North. Oh, baby. I live in Westmont, and on Ogden Avenue, it is ablaze with the passionate talk of Downers Grove North from fans, parents. This team could be York of last year. Owen Lansu, the star quarterback, the Ogden Messiah of what he can do for this team. And I'm not being a joke or anything. This kid is the real deal. A talented backfield, linebackers, a great defense. Charlie Cruz, a wide receiver, who's going to be an absolute stud for DGN this season. Can they have the same success that York had last year? And give us what you think, Mr. Codo.
Yeah. You got Noah Battle back too, so
yeah.
Downers Grove North, again, I feel like they could definitely take some note after their successful season they had last year. And yeah, you had to play Mount Carmel, but they held with Mount Carmel.
Yes, they did.
So I assume that those underclassmen or juniors and now seniors are going to take note and help out those Trojans.
Next one, Downers Grove South. They lose Ryan Dawson. They lose their top receiver as well. Again, I'm really impressed with Cohen Goldschwager. He's going to be a hell of a player. Deion Davis, he's another interesting player. What do you think, sir?
Well, obviously, Downers Grove South won the West Suburban Gold last year. Won 6 games. The year before, they won 5 games. This year, they could maybe win 7 or even 8.
Yeah. Be interesting, especially in that silver division. Hopefully, I got the right color correct. I keep mixing up.
You said silver. They're in the gold.
They're in the gold. Okay, I apologize. All right. Mea culpa. I'm sorry.
One of us is wrong for sure.
Yep. And we get into, again, this is very interesting. Now, Proviso East, Proviso West. I put this down for one reason. There is talk among combining both football teams, not for this season, but for next season. What do you think?
Honestly, if numbers are going to be an issue, then you might as well combine.
Yeah.
I don't see the problem. I mean, I don't see a problem with them doing that. Sure, they want to be their own school, but you can't get the numbers up. You kind of have no choice.
And again, this is a sleeping giant if this happens, and they could do a lot of stuff. Next one, OPRF, unbelievable. They got DB Nichols back. OPRF, they got last year. It was an off season. What do you think this year, sir?
I think OPRF can bounce back.
Yeah, I do too. I like what they have on the defensive line as well. I know they graduated some stars, but definitely a big thing that you got to keep an eye out for. We get into more of the DuPage teams and the DuPage conferences. Upstate 8, Glenbard South, sir.
Our boy Michael Champagne is back for another
Yes.
season. Let's go.
And Mr. Williams is back. They get a nice little transfer.
You also got Seth Kaskaspa. I don't know if I said that right.
Yes. And they got
There's some big.
They got Cam Williams coming. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Landon's back.
Yes. And they got Jack Anderson from Glenbard West. He's going to be an absolute star for them.
Yes.
So, again, this Glenbard South team is going to be deep. The big thing is, can they challenge South Elgin? Because South Elgin runs that asshole offense. No one wants to go against that triple option. It will kill you. It's hard.
Can we get a South Elgin Cary Grove matchup, please?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting game. That would be an interesting game.
Battle of the triple options.
Yep. Next one, West Chicago. My boy, Coach Chavez.
I feel like West Chicago can pick up a couple more wins this year.
Yes, and I do. And that'd be great progress for this program. Coach Chavez is leading this team. It's something very positive. Every year it's a little inch closer, making a great football program. Coach Chavez is doing a hell of a job at West Chicago. They're definitely a team to watch out for. Fenton. They have a couple linemen. But it's like
7. Maybe they could take another stride.
Yeah, it's a tough. Bartlett
needs to put together a full season and not play half a season, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and they've got a good defensive end / tight end as well. I think
stud lineman Justin Ebegbulam.
Yeah. I think Bartlett can get to that 5-4 record, my personal feeling.
Yes.
I think they can. Glenbard East. This is a very interesting team. They lost some players. They lost a star defensive line, but the youth. Coach Walker's coaching that defensive line. He's got them looking good. Coach Walters, again, this team always challenge. I will not be surprised, again, if they're back in the ranks. They have some young guys. The guy's last name begins with a Z. They have a good quarterback.
Right.
Blake Saviano is another player to keep an eye out for Glenbard East. What do you think, sir?
The Rams, they will definitely bounce back.
Yeah, they're going to be.
You lost some players, but in that Upstate 8, the Upstate 8 is, pretty steady conference. Usually it's dominated by, Glenbard East, Glenbard South Elgin.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
I agree. Let's talk Illinois Central 8. Yes, it is back. Lyle is back. New coach Parpet has left the football program. And again, Lyle, they just, for some reason, they reinvent themselves. I will say this till the day I die. With Lyle, they know how to hire coaches. They know how to hire coaching staffs. This Lyle team is not going to miss a beat. I'm very impressed with DeWald. They have a very impressive multi-sports group of players for the Lyle Lions. What do you think, sir?
I was going to say, Antonio DeWald is going to be the leader of that Lyle team this season.
Yeah. And we get into the lovely, and this is good, the Metro Suburban South. It go bye-bye. It's gone. It's gone. The Metro Suburban Conference is gone. Wheaton Academy is now in the Chicagoland Christian Conference. Good conference. The only one team that really, the one team that I see above them is Marion Central Catholic. They are that damn good. What do you think, sir?
Well, Wheaton Academy, can they have another successful season? Robert Grant is back, along with Brett Casper, Brett Dieter, Jeremiah Joniak, or Johannek.
Yeah.
I mean, lost a lot of key players from last season.
And they got Robert Grant from Larkin. He transferred.
Let's go.
And Wheaton Academy, again, looks good. Marion Central Catholic, again, this team is serious. They are a serious team. Chicago Christian also could very well challenge too. But this Marion Central Catholic team, Christian Benacourt, a Clemson commit, unbelievable. Nathan Sarfo, do not sleep on these Hurricanes. This is a perfect conference for them, and they're going to do damage. And Liam Kerwin, the coach, has done a wonderful job with this program, from helping it out to basically, again, Last season I thought that they were going to do, but they had a couple issues. This season, they could be state title contenders. Do not sleep on Marion Central Catholic. That Hurricane team. They play lights out. They play tough football. Keep an eye out for them.
All right, bring the Hurricane.
Yep. And then we get into the Chicagoland Prairie Conference with Westmont. Oh,
keep on grinding, Westmont. Keep on grinding.
Again, it's tough. They fired the coach again.
Another coach got fired.
Yeah, and again, Westmont's Westmont, and playing and coaching at Westmont, it's Westmont. It's a Westmont thing. That's all I can say. It's a Westmont thing. Lucas Fairs is going to be a star for them. And it all depends on, again, new coaching staff. I think the coaches from Lombard West, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be very interesting. But just you got to get some wins, and you got to establish a positive program. All right. And as I know I am a complete dumbass, I gave Mr. Codo a script, and I forgot teams because, well.
All right.
So as we get into it, Chicago Catholic League, ESCC, whatever, Orange Division. Ladies and gentlemen, Metro Suburban is gone. IC is now in a new conference in the Chicago Catholic League. And as a welcoming thing to IC, you get to play Loyola Academy. Way to go. Good job, Chicago Catholic League. Take it away, sir. What do you think about IC this year?
They come in as defending 3A state champs. They got some key players back, but Loyola playing a big dog. You're playing the big dog.
Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight. If IC can get to 5 wins,
Dennis Mandel and KJ Parker though will be the key players.
Yep, and I think they're going to be up to 4A, hoping for a Rochester IC title game. But
I would love to see that.
Yes, but this IC team is going to be a beast. Dennis Mandela, Parker, unbelievable. I'm forgetting the linebacker's name. Offensive line, good. They got 2 kids from Riverside Brookfield that transferred over there as well. This is a team that's looking very interesting. Do not sleep on this IC9 team. Again, they just need to get 5 wins. That's all they need. It's going to be tough. They got screwed, but it is what it is. Next team, St. Francis loses Mr. McMillan. He graduates and goes
to the quarterback back, though.
Yes, he is. Alessio is back. What do you think, sir?
They can regroup. They can go far again.
And Zachary Washington is an absolute stud, young stud rising through the ranks. Keep an eye from Liam Kolonsky. I'm forgetting the other kid's name. Oh, it's killing me. But he gives another kid to look out for as well. We get into the white division of the CCL ESCC, Bennett Academy. What do you think, sir?
4 and 5 back-to-back years after a good stretch of playoffs.
And Bennett Academy looks really good. I like some of their youth. It's going to be a tough season.
They got to play Loyola. They got to play IC.
And the last one, Montini. Keep an eye out for this Montini team as we talk about it.
They better bounce back because we've been hyping those boys up.
The quarterback, he's coming through. Again, this team's looking good. I think this team can get back into the playoffs. I think they can challenge for a state title. This Montini Bronco team, they're back. Do not sleep on them. All right.
Right.
Hopefully time doesn't kill me. I'll follow Coach Big Pete this football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Mr. Codo, take it away.
Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check us out at NCTV 17.